wanted to check in and do an update. I don't even know if anybody really watches these videos anymore, but as a patient advocate, I wanted to share my latest situation and like a little bit that happened. Again, helping me to obviously want to continue with my, being an advocate and helping, because it's just so disturbing that after all these years that I've been dealing with doctors. I mean, I've been spoiled. My team of doctors in DC have been, they go over and beyond, but they choose to. They choose to be close to their patients. They choose to be accessible. And I know that not all doctors can do that. But here is one thing I'm going to say about a doctor, because I know a lot of doctors. You took an oath, and I've said this in videos before. If you can't figure out what's wrong with somebody, or it's not textbook, or you're on patient overload, then you need to retire, or you need to figure out a way to change your schedule to make it so the patients you are treating are getting 100% of your attention when they're with you, and should there be a major issue, that the patient feels comfortable knowing that you're going to do everything that needs to be done. So let me give you an example. So obviously, many of you know, if you watch these, I moved to Texas, and it's been really difficult finding a neurologist. I just need injections every 3 months. I've weaned off my nerve medication. I'm on another medication that I've been on since 2009, which eventually, it's not a narcotic or anything. It's a muscle relaxer. I normally don't like really getting personal about stuff, but again, this is, I guess, my journey, but I like to share it just in case it's happening to somebody else. So I'd been flying back and forth from Texas to DC to get my treatments, which was great, but you know what? It's exhausting. The expense, it's just, I loved it because I didn't want to stop being treated by my neurologist, and who knew my case probably the best. So I was referred to somebody in Dallas, and I went and had that appointment with this gentleman, this doctor, in February, and the appointment went amazing. Like, I'm on board. I understand. I hear you. I know your medications. I feel comfortable with. Let's get you off the nerve medication and see how you do, and then come back, and we'll discuss other things as far as, this one medication I take at night. It's a muscle relaxer. He was saying, there's a better medication out there, Flexerol, because I'm on at night. It's like old school. And I do have trouble sleeping due to like certain just on positions that I found I had. But anyway, that's here nor there. So with this, having to find a new doctor, he ordered an MRI just because I hadn't had an MRI of my brain in like, I don't know, years. And I, get an MRI, he can have it for his records. Well, there was a finding. So in April, I was diagnosed, I was told by the imaging center, which at first I was really upset because I'm like, why are you guys calling me? Where's my doctor? Why are you giving me this information? And I'm pretty embarrassed because I actually had to Google what the findings were, because I didn't know what a low-grade glioma was. It's a brain tumor. However, it's if you're gonna have a brain tumor, it's a good one to have because it's slow growing, but you can't ignore it. It has to come out. Like, I have to have an operation. So to this day, which is now June 17th, I have not had a conversation with the doctor who ordered the MRI. I had a brief one on the phone when he was on vacation, because I kept calling the office like a frantic person, which I'm pretty sure anybody would. So he called me on a Friday and said, this is the first vacation I've taken in a year. I'm like, your staff never told me you were on vacation. I was told in February when I met him, like, if you ever need anything, we're here, we're always available. Impossible. completely impossible to get a hold of anyone. You write a message to the portal, it's like, whatever. So, and I'm not trying to be negative because it's just, I guess I'm kind of negative because I'm like, I just don't want to deal with this. Like, so I called, obviously, my doctor in DC, Dr. Duchek, once again. Because he's just always there for me. He's saved my life and given me back just a great quality of life. And I told him, I texted him. First, I called his office. I heard he was in a conference. He stepped outside of the conference to call me and to have a verbal conversation because it was concerning. He was like, this is terrible. Here's what you need to do. Because he was very confused on who ordered the MRI and why no one was doing anything. So I was like, can you help me? And he did. He's like, get a piece of paper, pen, this is what you need to do. So he told me to go to MD Anderson. He said, I'm very lucky. I live in Texas and Houston. MD Anderson is the #1 place in his opinion, and a lot of people's opinion that I've talked to. If you're gonna have a brain tumor and you have access to get to MD Anderson in Houston, go there. So within 24 hours, I was registered as a patient, went in April, met with my doctor, actually a team of doctors. They give you a piece of paper, you have a team, you even have a patient advocate, you even have like a counselor. It was overwhelming, but it made me feel safe, secure, comfortable. Obviously, I just felt better just with everything, knowing that referral came from Dr. Duchek. So last week, I traveled to Dallas to the new neurologist to get my injections because in March I flew back and had them done, and then it was like, oh my gosh, the goodbyes, and this is sad, but thank you for finding someone who is so great, willing to take care of me, understands my case. So I drove to Dallas, which, it's almost 4 hours, and sometimes it's just hard to get in the car, and I'm not complaining, but it's just daunting. But I have big girl panties on, and I just do so. I just go, I've gone to a lot of appointments alone. I don't need anyone holding my hand. And so I went, and, the expense of the hotel, just whatever. I went last Tuesday to get my injections, and I needed a refill of my prescription that I've been on since 2009. And to just stop, I'd probably wind up in the emergency room. So I thought we were going to have a discussion about oh, okay, so I ordered an MRI. There was a low-grade glioma. You have a low-grade, is there anything I can, I'm your treating neurologist. Let's discuss this. Just got my injections. Had to call my old doctor for my injection protocol, which she answered the phone, talked to the doctor. I don't even want to talk about how the injections went, but it was like rush. And I said, oh, I need a new prescription for my medication. And he's like, yeah, feel comfortable, and that's not this appointment. Why don't you call your old doctor and get it? And I was just like, well, what about when you said you were gonna talk about changing Flexerol? And it's like, yeah, just next time you come, make an appointment for injections, and if you want to talk to me. And it was, I know you came from Austin, but, and I was just really confused because in February I was told when I came for my next appointment that we would discuss this. Also, after I stalked his office because of my MRI findings, it was like, he'll talk to you in June. It's no big deal. Everything wait 6 months. I'm glad I went to MD Anderson because it can't wait. So stuff's in motion, and I am not bad-mouthing anyone, but I just don't, I'll never refer anyone to this doctor. I'm probably going to have to go back to DC. How do you go into a doctor's office? I'm not on opioids. I can't even say the word opioid. It wasn't like I was like, hey, more Oxy, give me some Vicodin. This is a muscle relaxer because that's my main issue now is the muscles, and it then shoots up and I get pain. And it can be very debilitating at times, but these injections, hopefully if I can get on the right protocol and continue to get them done every 3 months, the idea was to wean off the muscle relaxer when the time was necessary. I go in for annual physicals. I'm fine. I'm in great health. I, try to make it to the gym to walk the track or do the bike or just my physical therapy exercises. So I was very emotional and reached out once again to my doctor in DC. And it was like, I'm here, you can come back. My main thing was, can you fill my prescription? And I'm sure she's probably like, why didn't you get it when you saw your doctor in Dallas? And I was like, he wouldn't give it to me, so I just, first of all, just wanted everyone to know that I'm fine. That's new with me. That's what's going on. But should this ever happen, should you go in and you have an MRI and there's a finding, everything makes sense of why the imaging center contacted me. The doctor was not available and his staff was like, I don't know, just not available. I'm entitled to my opinion, and in my opinion, that is completely not only unprofessional, and it's not ethical. I mean, how do you order an MRI of someone's brain? It comes back, they have a brain tumor, and you don't even talk to them. You don't even tell them, like, this is what you can do. And I really didn't care at first, because, like, you know what? I called Dr. Duchek and he handled it. I still have like a support team, but I was thinking that there might be a lot of people out there that this could happen to that wouldn't know. If I never went through what I went through with all my surgeries and starting my foundation, and I just went in for an MRI and this happened, and the doctor said, oh, we have a baseline, we can wait 6 months, I would probably trust that, and I would probably be okay with the treatment because I wouldn't know any difference. I think some people are just maybe coming across this and maybe brand new in their journey. It's not acceptable. Don't accept it. Don't allow it. You're a patient that has an invisible illness. If a doctor is so great and promise you, besides the fact that they took an oath and they're a doctor, but then is just, I don't know if an ego is damaged. I don't know if, you know what, that's not, like, we're big kids. We're not playing in a sandbox anymore on the playground. And I'm sorry if this is coming across as rude, but you have a responsibility as a doctor. And if you don't want to deal with it, because you can't, because it's not your specialty, it's your obligation to follow up with that patient and say, I ordered an MRI, or ordered this test, or and this finding, but here's a specialist. Let me, give you some suggestions of where to go, what to do. Let me know if you need anything. And then to physically see me and just be like, dismissive and kind of like, I don't, like, this isn't my thing. And then to not give me my medication that I've been on for like almost 10 years, it's just not acceptable. So I guess that's just this video. It's Migraine Awareness Month. To me, I am always raising awareness. It's not just about migraines. I think it's about visible illnesses, chronic head pain, or if you just come across this and you're just having a really weird experience with the doctor, maybe this will help. I don't know. Again, I don't know if people watch these anymore. I feel better, got it out, and hopefully everything will work. I know everything will work out. Probably going back to DC, and I mean, maybe MD Anderson can either tell me, like, guess what? You don't need to have this anymore because the pain and everything's from the tumor, or we have somebody here for you that can treat you, and then we'll understand your case and we'll actually take time and care. So anyway, happy Monday. And that's Monday mood, Monday vibes, Monday thoughts, Monday quotes, Monday inspiration, Monday advocacy. Peace out.